Is the crypto bull market over? Bitcoin altcoins are dumping in addition to the stock market. Well, this comes as Jerome Powell says that there will be only 2 rate cuts in 2025. I'll share with you what this means and what we can expect next. And we have huge news around BlackRock and blockchain, as well as Deutsche Bank building a layer 2 on the Ethereum blockchain, and big updates around Hbar and VeChain. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, I'm sure many of you heard today that the Federal Reserve has cut rates once again by 25 basis points. The market was anticipating this, and that's how it played out. However, Jerome Powell said that there will be only 2 more rate cuts in 2025. That was a bearish signal for the market, and the stock market and Bitcoin and everything just started dumping. So you look at the SPX, the S&P 500, NASDAQ, everything is just dumping. The VIX is spiking again. Remember, we saw the VIX spike when the Japanese yen trade situation took place in August, and then there was a reset and it normalized. Well, we're seeing a big spike right now. So this is a pretty significant dump. However, is it the end of the bull market for both the stock market and crypto? I don't believe so. Now, I always keep things balanced. Is there a probability that this is the end? Of course. The question is how high of a probability? I think it's a low probability. So I think there's a higher probability that the bull market continues because there has been no invalidation. And the different signals and metrics is some of which I shared with you guys yesterday, like the Bitcoin Pi cycle top indicator, what whales are doing and so forth, has not triggered. So based on the data, not our feelings, no invalidation, and the bull market is still on. And we know that these pullbacks and all these different corrections are so healthy. What have I been telling you guys over the past few weeks? 2 scenarios. Bitcoin just continues running up, maybe hits about 115, 120,000, then it rolls over, and this would continue into early January, kind of what we saw in 2020 and 2021. Or Bitcoin would roll over and go test those lows. Remember, I've been saying 88,000, 80,000 and so forth, right? Before we then bounce maybe come January and keep moving up. I've been on record saying this. So we don't have a crystal ball, but we can form different theses around different scenarios and see which one plays out. And we have to let sometimes the market show us what it wants to do because once again, we don't have a crystal ball. So guys, very healthy, even though Bitcoin is back below 100,000. Right now it's at $99,558, continuing to pull back. It's a sea of red. It's bloody. But for those of you who've been around the block, my OG subscribers and listeners, you know the deal, guys. This is so healthy. We saw it in 2020. We saw it in 2017. Hell, 2017 was so much scarier because it wasn't like the 20% pullbacks that we're seeing in this bull market cycle. It was 30 and 40%, and those were stomach churning. And it was my first go around, but I knew better by the time 2020 and 2021 came around, and I wrote it up, made some money, and I'm looking to ride this one up and make money as well. So things were, of course, getting a bit frothy. I tweeted out about it today. If you look back just a couple days ago, the fear and greed index was at an 87. So what's going to happen here? You're going to get a reset of the sentiment. We're going to go back to maybe neutral or fear, and then set up the stage to pump. I actually tweeted about it just a couple of minutes ago. I said, when coins like Fartcoin are pumping and people are bullish on it, that's when you know the market has gotten frothy. Jerome knows this. He said only 2 cuts in 2025, and it was enough for the markets to dump. Flush out the leverage, reset the sentiment from greed to fear, and set up for the 5th wave. So once again, my OG subscribers and listeners, you know the deal. And I know sometimes these things, even if you're an OG, it can be rough to go through it, but go back to the data, not our emotions, right? So guys, I just see this as a reset and flush out, and we're going to set the stage again. There might be, maybe we consolidate the entire month of January before we break out. So just be prepared for all these things. But the bull market's not over. And we continue to see institutional investors are building and investing. Here we got news that BlackRock ETF buys the first muni bonds issued through blockchain. Larry Fink was not kidding when he said that tokenization is the future of finance. So this is pretty big. BlackRock is tokenizing. They're doing different things with blockchain. They, of course, have their ETFs. They are backing Circle and custodying reserves for USDC and much more. So let me give you the details here, guys. According to Bloomberg, the move is a first of its kind deal relying exclusively on the technology. The security was issued through Quincy, Massachusetts in April. Additionally, JP Morgan, the issuer of the DECT, used an application on a price blockchain-based network. The network facilitated the sale and represents the first transaction that was completely issued on blockchain. This is the future, folks. So you're just seeing incredible adoption and building, folks. And here's another example of this. One of the largest banks in the world, Deutsche Bank, $1.5 trillion Deutsche Bank, builds a layer 2 blockchain on Ethereum. Wow, you have banks now building layer 2s on Ethereum. Think about that. It's incredible. And I think we're going to see more and more of this. Some of them are going to try to build their own blockchains from scratch, and some are going to build on Ethereum and other blockchains out there. So incredible stuff. In the recent rush of increased interest in the digital asset sector, Deutsche Bank has announced that it is building a layer 2 blockchain on Ethereum. Indeed, the investment bank has announced that it is set to use ZK Sync to confront regulatory challenges firms face when using technology in finance, according to Bloomberg. This is incredible. The new network is part of the firm's Project Dama 2, which was first unveiled in November. Moreover, its development is looking to address ways to ensure transaction efficiency, security, regulatory safeguards, and integration with Ethereum. Guys, this is just amazing. It's mind-blowing what is taking place. And if you've been an OG subscriber to this podcast, I talked about this for years. Stock markets, banks, the largest financial institutions will all get involved. They will offer trading and custody. They will build with it and much more. It's amazing. This is why I'm bullish not only on this cycle, but the future cycles come the next bull market of 2028. So get ready, folks. All right, guys, quick word from our sponsor, and that is BitGo. They are one of the top tier crypto custodians in the market. They're used by many big companies and brands in the crypto industry, such as Bitstamp Exchange, Sweet, a token project, Pantera Capital, that's Dan Moorhead, 21 Shares, which issues Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. And they offer a variety of services, obviously custody, wallet services, prime services to get liquidity and capital. They have a fully active ecosystem where you can list, grow, and manage that ecosystem, and of course, secure real-time global settlement. And they recently launched a retail platform where folks can trade, stake, and of course, custody their crypto funds. And obviously, this is top tier crypto custody, right? And BitGo is running a great promotion that if you sign up and have funds on the platform through the last day of each quarter, starting December 31st of 2024, you can be eligible to win 1 Bitcoin per quarter. So they're giving away some Bitcoin here, guys. So if you'd like to learn more, visit the link in the description. Now, guys, this is very interesting. Eleanor Terry of Fox Business reported the following. At a meeting with staffers for SEC Commissioners Hester Peirce and Mark Ueda this week, the Digital Chambers Token Alliance included denouncing the 2018 Bill Hinman speech as a day one priority for the corporate finance division, citing its lack of relevance to the Howey test, creating market confusion and improperly creating a winner/loser dynamic. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. There's going to be a bit of cleaning of the house here at the SEC because of all the mess that was created with Hinman and Gary Gensler. And we know the SEC has been trying to cover up a lot of that because Hinman screwed up here. But we know that there was a clear conflict of interest where he was working for a law firm that was part of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. And it got called out. It got used in the Ripple lawsuit as well. Hinman had to come in and do a deposition. And of course, many folks have been calling out Hinman and the hypocrisy of the SEC in picking winners and losers. So it's great to see that this is being cleaned up and we can get a reset and get proper legislation through. In addition, there's also an investigation being done by the Inspector General, if I'm not mistaken, at the SEC. And they were still waiting for that report to come out. So this could be the Band-Aid, or they clean it up and say, hey, look, we're not going to release anything from Hinman. We're going to disavow everything he said, and then maybe they release it. But what a mess. And obviously, there's been a lot of controversy over the years with different hedge funds who benefited from Ethereum in the ICO and much more. So, just a complete mess, like I said, guys. And Eleanor continues saying the list of priorities for each of the SEC divisions is laid out in a timeline from day 1 to day 90 of Donald Trump's new administration, pinpointing policy changes that the industry feels would help kickstart a new, more positive relationship between crypto market participants and the agency. Eleanor also said other notable day one priorities labeled as critical include initiating a review of all existing crypto related investigations, Wells notices, and in process litigation cases, and seek stays for the ones that do not involve actual fraud or investor harm, rescind SAB 121 and publish a revocation order in the Federal Register, formally withdraw and reconsider the proposed amendments to Rule 3B16, which propose to expand the definition of exchange to include DeFi protocols. Notably, Digital Chamber noted that they were pleased by the open dialogue with the commissioners' teams that showed willingness to receive ongoing input. Wow, guys. Well, this makes sense. All this cleanup, Paul Atkins, pro crypto SEC chair, coming in and the cleanup of the legacy problems, and Hester Peirce and Mark Ueda, who are Republicans, and you're gonna and Crenshaw's out, obviously. The Republicans are going to be in control here, and people who are forward-thinking and pro-crypto. So, wow, pretty amazing. This should be getting bigger headlines, but we'll see. It actually has to happen, but this is a very good start. So, very interesting stuff. Now, we have big news around Hedera Hashgraph, which has a native token HBAR. I'm a holder of HBAR. They tweeted out today, Equity Lab, NVIDIA, and Intel have unveiled Verifiable Compute, the first hardware-based solution to govern and audit AI workflows. At launch, every AI computation on compatible Intel CPUs and NVIDIA GPUs will be immutably recorded on Hedera. Hedera continues to get adoption, and this is why I hold that the native token, guys. This is pretty big. So huge news there. We also got big news from VeChain, which I am also a VET token holder. VeChain is also a sponsor of this podcast. They said proof of participation badges are a great way to introduce NFTs and blockchain to users, but can be difficult/costly to mint. No more. We just launched a no-code proof of participation module free. Grab the vWorld wallet, mint these proof of participations, and engage your community's Web3 style. This is big, especially that it's free, and it will help usher in more adoption of NFTs and people participating in Web3. So really big move here by VeChain, and I hope to have Sunny Liu, the founder, back on the podcast soon to talk about all the great stuff they have going on. All right, folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. A great way you can support me in the podcast is by subscribing to my free email newsletter. It's 100% free. Link will be in the description. Also, grab a copy of my book, Rethinking Crypto. It's available on Amazon in paperback and digital. Buy a copy for yourself. Buy a copy for your friends and family. Help them to learn about crypto. And if you bought a copy already, please leave a rating and review. It will really help me out. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.